All right, hello, hello. Yeah, you can eat that. How's everybody doing today? So my voice is no better for wear today, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Bubba is with us today, so we will see if Kip is going to behave today. And who knows? Maybe we'll have to go to Miss Rachel a little early today. Miss Rachel is a children's cartoon. If you guys were not familiar with what it is. Anyway, sorry. Some interesting moves in the overnight. The pound came in. We were looking at like maybe it came in at 10. I was like, yeah, maybe they missed a little bit. That'd be strong for the pound. It actually went up. It came to 10.4. Now this is interesting because the pound said that, you know, listen, we're going to avoid recession. Well, one problem with that is, and again, everybody else is claiming on a yearly basis they're coming down. This one actually increased. And again, I'm wondering what the Fed, they may have looked at this today and said, maybe we need to change our mind a little bit. But I don't think they will. I think it's still going to be, again, what the forecasted 0.25 is. That seems to be the general consensus. All the polls out there said, over 75% of people said it. Um, so, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, sorry, just trying to keep licking the throat. As far as the 24-hour pip changes, you can see that the pound yen is leading the pack at 68, which is really nothing. Euro pound 13. Again, that's absolutely zero, especially with data this big. Aussie dollar -5, nothing. 54, it's all right. 13, nothing. 28, nothing. 24, nothing. 4, nothing. They may say, why is there no movement? Well, everybody's kind of poised and ready, and they're preparing for kind of what we're going to see later on today. It is absolutely huge. Again, the general consensus is they're going to raise 0.5 or 0.25 and then have a little bit softer language in what they're going to do going down the road. And I think that's what everybody's looking for. I don't think that the 0.25 is kind of really the problem right now. I think I think the market has adjusted for that. But at the same time, it's like, what do they say going forward? Is it going to be worse? Is it going to be better? Um, I think that's really the big, I think that's really the big thing. Um, so we'll see. Tomorrow morning, and again, it's kind of looking ahead, but tomorrow morning there is some big news as well. The pound. I think at this point, I don't think there's any way that the pound doesn't move with their inflation going higher. You could say, could there be a surprise 0.5? There could be, but I don't think there will. I think it'll be a 0.25, and they'll talk about continuing to do it in the future. We have the Swiss raising 0.5. Again, I think that probably kicks in as well. So, obviously today it kicks off, right, with the US data, and then bam, tomorrow morning, all overnight. So what we should really be looking for is look for some type of a surge one way or the other here, at least a push one way and the other, and then over here, um, again looking at. Oh, he's got a lacrosse stick. Looking for kind of reversals is what we're looking for. All right. So we'll see. Could be a lot of fun. Looking across at the VIX. All right, so the VIX. Whoops, it's 15. Let's go back down to 30. So the VIX, for the most part, yesterday continued to deteriorate, kind of as we expected. We expected it to kind of be a nice little run up the day before news in preparation for today. Why is chat not working? Why is the bot not working? All right, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Thank God for multiple monitors. All right, there we go. Yeah, that works. All right, so with this continuing to push lower, I think it's in the right spot. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we start getting a little bit of a hiccup. Starting to pick up a little bit now that the market is open. The reason I say that is because, again, with the market starting to turn red right now, it's people preparing for this 0.25. I think it. I think most likely, I think that what we hear in the news this morning, I think will be the biggest kind of things that start jacking this around. If things start to roll, like people are looking right now, if if these numbers start to accelerate, right? I think the VIX really starts to take off. I think once they start getting negative, I think people start to lump in like a snowball, and I think it goes and continue, deteriorate to the downside. So we'll see. Dollar, does it move much? No, not really. Right? It kind of went back up again and pulled right back down again. We're in the same spot, right? Now, European market did kind of shoot it down a little bit, right? This 3 o'clock window, it did push it down, but we're kind of sitting in that area of buyers right now. Sitting down here. Typically in the U.S. session is when we see the dollar kind of come back up again. It did. It took an initial push down with news, and then 5:30 reversed and started to come back up again. So I still think when we get the talk today, which would be right in actually 14, sorry, right there. I don't know if we can get all the way to 103.43 base percentage wise where we are, but if we do, that kind of leads us to, again, we talked about this yesterday, being a 23.6, an area of basing over there with a little bit of a confirmation. That could be a decent kind of push to the downside, but right now we're still sitting low. And again, does the market take the 2.5 as a good thing? Do they take it as a bad thing? There were some people yesterday that says, hey, they need to go. None of the data thus far. We know it's going to change, but none of the data thus far um, has necessarily changed. Right? Everything still looks good. Right? They should continue on the pace that they are. And again, the ECB, they went the full 0.5 even with the Credit Suisse situation. So it's kind of like, does the ECB, does Lagarde have more kahunas, right, than Powell? We'll see. That's going to be the big question today. So indices slightly in the red. You can see NQ is up just a little bit, and Russell is down the most right now at 0.6. And again, that's what you would expect. It is the one that is most sensitive to that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, Apple, Tesla both up a little bit. Crude oil holding right at that 70 mark. Well, 69.50. So we're holding firm there. Natural gas up to 227, although it is down off of where it closed. There was a little surge yesterday. And gold and silver totally mixed, up 0.18 and down 0.04. So kind of holding firm. They're back, gold is down to that 1950 as we mentioned yesterday. Silver, a little bit above 22. I like 22 as the top, so I'm looking for this one to take a big fall today. Now, Aussie dollar, you can see it's up 0.06. So it's kind of moved and then kind of come back up again. So 10:30, we were sitting down at this level, and you can see it kind of chopped through, and then finally, at like 11 o'clock, it had one spike below, finding these buyers here, and then took off. And you guys know this pattern, little confirmation pattern up. It went through, pulled back down again, grabbed that zone, and then took off. So target was hit. It's kind of pushed over right now. So again, the only thing we can do on this one is really kind of adjust it down a little bit for the buyers down here. And that's overall going to be where the target is right now. Looking for this one to push to the downside. So again, nice little run on that one. I think right now for news today, we do definitely have this top side. Right now, this top side piece though is more of a target, right? It's about 50 pips. This absolutely can move more than 50 pips with no problem. Absolutely can, right? So, we'll see where it goes. I think right now the three levels that we should be looking at are kind of here, here, and here, right? We're kind of floating on the middle side. Whoops, nope, not trying to do that. Click this one, go here. Obviously between the 50 and 61, you can see we did have this confirmation off this zone here, and that's kind of what we used here to go higher. At the 61, you can also see a level where it pulled back. I mean, basing here and that kind of pulled back, right? So there are definitely two levels kind of sitting from here to here that we need to watch out for. Typically, we like when we are at an extreme, a high or a low, but we're sitting right in the middle, and that's always kind of worrisome, particularly with something like this. Now, what that does for us, though, is it leads us to kind of have let's see, from the middle up, 70 pips, 65 pips. It's got a daily ATR of 80. So with the news today, right, coming in, right here, yeah, coming in right there, right. This could give us a big spike up, big spike down, and this gives us two parabolic retracement potential trades. Right? There's two potential trades in here. Okay. So right now, is there anything to trade? Not so much. Maybe we get a bounce off of this one, but I think the closer we approach this one and it bases here, again, this is more of a post, not a pre-base trade setup. Okay. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, you can see there was the pullback yesterday, and we dropped all the way down. This one was out. We talked about this right around that 9:30 mark. This is early on. And again, the 10 o'clock window is right here. We said, hey, look, if you're looking for a trade, this is a decent level. And again, went all the way down. You were out by, I guess actually we were out by 10:30. So it was a rather quick kind of push to the downside and grab where it should have. So trade is out now. It did kind of try to do a little bit of a Harry Potter, but it didn't really have the room to run to the top side. So, that trade is out. Let's see. What you got, buds? 50 and the 61. There's a little bit down here at the 61, but I wouldn't be worried about this as much. Look at this, right? 1, 2, 3. So that looks like that will break. I'd say there's probably a little bit of basing going on right in here. And that's kind of the old Again, it was a 50 on the top side. It's nothing to the downside, but it's a little bit of a front right here. I'd say probably a bit of a hiccup. I actually won't be surprised if when lose comes in, we're sitting down there. And it's kind of the same scenario we saw with the Aussie dollar. It's kind of the middle of the range, right? From the high to low. We're sitting right in that middle of that no man's land. Now the Aussie yen is kind of it's the double proxy for the news today, so I don't know that it's necessarily going to be the best, but we can absolutely have a spike up or down, um, with the yen, right? I think absolutely up and down you know, could be the piece there, right? Yeah, I think up or down makes the most sense. So, nothing really being traded right now. Euro dollar, again, we're sitting high. We talked yesterday about being high. We'd like to see a retracement back down again. Targets at 107. So it kind of just went down and then kind of died on us, right? Once it hit that 11 o'clock time frame, it again did nothing, which is the same thing we saw here, right? That's why we drew the zone here. We saw this movement right here. It hit 11 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock, and then went sideways. And what did it do here? Once it settled in at 9:30, it did nothing. So again, the dollar did not have enough oomph to kind of move it. Now, the Europeans, they came into the market right here. Okay. There's your 3 o'clock time frame right there. Right, 2:30, 3 o'clock. So they drove it up. So right now you can kind of stack this higher if you're looking for a level of basing. You could say that, hey, listen, there's a little bit of a retest right there, right, based off those candles. Um, with them driving up and holding high, it does look like it's going to be more of a dollar strength based tool. Again, kind of the opinion is, oh, they're going to do 25 and halt, right? I don't know. They will. A lot of people said that they're going to kind of stick to their guns and kind of maintain the same path because inflation is still more of a problem than the banking industry right now. So if they say 0.25 and we're going to do another 0.25, I feel like a lot of people are going to take that as a very hawkish symbol, which again pushes us right back up again. And I think overall the target's still down here at 107.20. It's got about 60 pips to move. It can absolutely smash through that with FOMC news today. Um, but again, super high on the curve, right? And holding super high, right? Um, yeah. So looking at the Dixie, looking at the Euro dollar, they both look like it's going to be more of a strong dollar move today, right? Um, yeah. Is it in a place right now we can trade it? Not so much. We need to wait just a little bit longer. You can see that the news comes in right there. So again, red, green, red. It's there. Is this an early? Is this an early one? Maybe. For those options traders out there, could you trade something like that? Maybe. Right. And now would be a better time to take this, right? Than at 2 o'clock this afternoon, right? When it is high. All right. Um, Euro pound. All right. So Euro pound. We're looking for kind of a Harry Potter trade. Um, it was a larger zone, right? It was a much larger zone. We had the turn. Um, Actually, yesterday it actually came up to the higher zone. Wait, hold on, let me get my bearings on this one. Euro pound, sorry, wrong one. We talked about a level here being kind of a front run on the 50, and we talked about being in there. It ended up going up and needing this top section, and it looks like it tagged that top section. Um, about what, 1/3, about noon, and then came back down in base. So the Harry Potter trade on here, we missed the profit target. We're looking for a black line hit, and it kind of just missed by a little bit. I would say the only adjustment I would have made on this one would have been to here, right? And why? We were again with a broken zone. You're looking for a Harry Potter in the basing. All the basing came in here, right? Not down here, right? That was the top side. So there's where all the basing actually kicked in at. It did come back up and touch that level of basing. I have to run it off this red candle there, right? There's the red candle. So it did actually touch. So had you taken this, let's see, 1 to 3 is right there. So you can see with the entry here, there's your exit. You were able to still make it. So again, that's the problem. Remember, with Harry Potter's, we're always looking for the near term basing. Once it started the base above that level, you had to kind of shrink the basing on it. But it did go back and touch this level at 130. So again, maybe you got into the trade here and then ended up getting stopped out. If you grab this one, obviously you're definitely out. I mean, there's 1 to 3, and you can see it's well past. If you took the Harry Potter, there it is. So either one, both decent trades. Right now, with it rallying higher, I think it is an interesting spot. Actually, I'll put this back on there, right? Um, I'm not concerned with this level a second time. It pushed it so far up there. I'm not as worried about it. But what? I'm gonna say got? What you got, buds? Uh, close one. Hmm. It's an interesting trade setup. Again, you're gonna have people hitting this one more near term. Let's see. Were they able to grab this? Was there a reason? Yeah, there was. It was a 61. Hmm. There actually could be one more short in there. There could be one more short. 145 is 1245 is so close. Interesting. It's an interesting technical trade setup there. Again, we were looking for this. It was a 61.8 as well. So again, not surprised that it turned there. But when you come up here, the 61.8 now is at a level there. It is confirmed right here as well. How much risk is it? It's only 9 pips. Hmm. So why I like this one? Obviously, the big spike down was a parabolic move, right? Parabolic move because of the year-over-year CPI. We've had the full parabolic retracement back in again, so it is a confirmed level. But now that it pushed down, this also you can throw the 61.8 on top of it again. Wondering if this is the call. If we go just a little bit, shave a little bit off that one, right? Make that risk a little bit lower, right? And then your 1 to 3 is sitting right there, right? Again, I know it's shaved just a little bit off the actual base. I'm just trying to be a little bit more conservative with it there, right? But you would have to take the basing level there. So that's, you know. Oh, what's this? Oh, is that yummy? Um, it's 8 for 25, so not a bad trade. Yeah, I'd leave that on there. I think that's fine. Watch this be the front run off of it. Watch it a front run off that one. I'll be mad. That's what it's looking for. You're again. All right, so you're again. Check this out. So it hit right at 8:30 and came back down again, and it came back up again and tried, and then it just started to base. You're like, oh, it's breaking. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. It's gonna break, and then finally it broke this morning. So we're looking for this to want to push back down again. And again, we were sitting right here. Kind of. So again, this one got up to a 1 to 1.7, so probably a stop loss at break even. Right? You were up one. Oh, you were up over 1.5. So you should have taken a stop loss at break even. But once it started doing this, yeah, you knew it was going to go higher. So right now, you can pull these off. That trade is now dead. It did TED to 78.6, so it's I don't need it anymore. Yeah, that's what I thought. What I was thinking, I was like, oh man, look at all the basing right here. That's probably going to be a target, and that's exactly where it is. Now, here's kind of where this one gets fun. Look at the little base right here, and you may say, what base? What base? That base. The reason I was able to bracket that off on the 30, you see the wicks back and forth in here with the confirmation. Drop it to a 15. It's like, well, how did you know to bracket that in there? Well, it's because you can see it with the wicks, and then there's a racetrack below it. So we're gonna. It is 23, so it's a little bit much, but it's okay. Wait, look at that. They're dead on. Whew. There you go. So yeah, again, it's a base. It's only a one touch confirmation, so it absolutely could bounce once or maybe twice more. But when it comes through and breaks 141.71, look for that to run the 71 pips all the way down to 141. Okay. And again, it's got the 50 to deal with, but there wasn't really much there. The 61.8 will probably be the bigger target with all the basing there. Again, the candle behind the wick where we're going to be shooting for profit target does come in a little bit early, so you definitely have some room on that one. So, all right. Now, we were looking for some weakness potentially to come in. Well, we got a big hit to the top side. So again, parabolic move up. It is retracing back down. It's basically at the start of the move right now. We have the same again. This component right now is still valid, driving down, right? So right now, that component is there. The question is, where are we going to be? And I don't think we're getting all the way down to here for it because it didn't go down. It went up first and now is pushing down, right? Um, hmm. Yeah, I was looking at this right here, the confirmation little bounce. So I think here is going to be something we need to watch out for. Right, we're getting close. It if we can blow through this before the news today, that would be awesome. Right, I'll change this purple just so you can see it differently. Again, nice little rally. Look, and it's crazy. We talk about how the market doesn't. Nobody knows really because here's the time from like 1 to 2 o'clock. What did it do? It drove back down into a zone in time for news, and then it exploded. Right. It exploded. It pulled back right into a level right before that news, right to there. I mean, again, telltale sign. Oh, excuse me. Um, and now we're seeing again almost a full retraceable. That if we can break through there, again, we got to look for a level of basing below that. Um, I don't love any of these in here. Look at that. It didn't even go down. That's what I was looking at. Look, news comes out right off its own. I don't know if I'll take. I don't know if I like this one enough. I think this one's okay. I mean, that's only 40 pips. We can absolutely tag this one. Uh, it can move 80 in that time frame. Now, I'm kind of wondering now. I'm wondering if they do the 0.25 and it goes down, right? This is the scenario I'm kind of wondering right now. Based off of what we're seeing right here. Again, we got to get through this one first. There. It'll take them 15 minutes to say it. I'm wondering if, again, this is we're going to drive down. And again, it could be any of these levels, right? I'm wondering if it comes to like here, then goes to here, and then goes like this. Now, why I'm saying this is if the 0.25 comes in, again, the statement doesn't necessarily come out. That'll be inside of the questions about additional raises. And again, the questions are where like the real fireworks are going to happen. If the 0.25 raise comes in and it drops 30 pips, not a big deal whatsoever. That's a standard move for that one. Just the chatter back and forth of the retail traders. But then as soon as Powell says, yeah, we're very concerned, we're probably going to hold next time and have that super dovish statement, that's what sends this thing, the dollar coursing to the downside. So I'm wondering if it's a slow pop and then boom and it bounces off again. It could be this level. It could be this level, right? Could be either of those two levels. Um, if the first push is down, like I said, they will people know. Um, I just don't know if I really feel like Pal's not going to be like, "Yep, we're doing 325s in a row. We said we're doing it, and that's it. Deal with it." I don't think he'll be that inflammatory. I just feel like he's going to say something extremely dovish. So we'll get a pop down. Retail traders will be like, "Yeah," and then all of a sudden, boom, Powell just sandbag this whole thing. So that's kind of what and again, we're in a lower time frame just so I could show you the where it goes between basically between the 2 o'clock statement and the press conference, right? Between those two things, right? There's a statement, and again, people are going to be analyzing every word of that statement, be like, wait, what is it? Does he mean that? Well, and then when he gets the questions in the press conference, that's what really could sandbag the heck out of the dollar. So kind of looking at that right now. Makes it very interesting. And again, it could do this zone or this zone. I don't think it doesn't have the juice to get a load. I mean, I guess it could. Yeah, obviously 0.5 is off the table, right? But yeah, I don't think we can go. How much does it need to go? Yeah, I mean that's 45. That's not. Yeah, it's 88. We're not. I doubt we can push more. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's that inflammatory. Anyway, here you go. Parabolic move. Um, Funny, this one didn't give us the telltale signs enough. We talked about this being a level. Um, Again, straight up from news. We knew where news was coming in. It kind of pulled back. If you look to see where the highs are, right? We definitely have again, looks like this, and again, lower lows, right? We kind of rallied up from late last night, and then the Europeans came in and kind of set this one up until the news, and then boom, it exploded. So you're looking for a reversal. Again, there's your red, there's your green, there's your red. So again, there's your confirmation to pull that trigger, right? Somewhere in here. It's basically the same zone, right? We weren't pulling the trigger on the top. We're not trying to find the top. We're trying to find the other end of it. Um, yeah. So I mean, you would have pulled the trigger back here for the reversal. I think this one is still coming back down. I think we come back down to this level right here. Right. That's where it should be. And again, you're so far back on that parabolic retracement right now. Um, yeah. So yeah, how much has that got to move? Yeah, 40 pips. So yeah, this one. I'd like to see where this one sets up for tomorrow. Right. With Swiss and pound with the pound tomorrow coming at this. If we're seeing all this pound weakness today, that could provide the opportunity for us to bounce. And here's why. Why would it bounce? Like, typically we take it short. Well, today's 10.4. That's half a percentage higher. That's kind of a big move, right? So you're seeing this, and yet it's going down. You're seeing weakness in the pound. Typically, you just believe that there's going to be a pop. So that's a off right there. Because again, great pop today. Great pop today. But tomorrow's where there is the interest rates. Okay. Dollar CAD. All right. So yesterday, we did tag that zone. It did pull back and then started to chop through. So it ended up breaking. It ended up going back up and actually grabbing the 50 on this one. And again, there was sellers up there. So again, it grabbed at the right spot. What time did that go through? 9:30. I don't know why we had that mark there. It should be down here. Yeah, I like this for Harry Potter at this point. We'll actually move this just a little bit to there. Yeah, like I'm good with this rising. I'm fine with that. Look at that red green. Look at this red green red. We talk about the confirmation trade. You hit a 50, and it's kind of very hard to draw a zone over here. Like, well, which one is it? Do I use this one, this one, this one, this one? That's too big. Um, but when you look for a red, green, red on a 50, there's your red, there's your green. Pullback didn't go as high. Red close. Look at the risk right there. Right, right now. it could hit that in the next hour. It's a decent top there, right? It's a decent top there. Um, Ideally, I'd like it to come up and then hold, not hit and then go down, but it absolutely could do that. So again, we're looking for a short. We break through 136.94. Look for this to come down to 136.55. Dollar Swiss. So remember we talked about the basing right there. All right, we're looking for a breakthrough. We're looking for some basing, right? Yeah, 8:30, 10 o'clock. We said this could potentially be where the basing is, and I would say that the basing is there right now, right? Yeah, European session shot it back down again. So this would be. This is what this looks like right now. So you may have just gotten stopped out on this one. You may have just gotten stopped out at break even. It looks like to the peak you were up at 1 to 2. So yeah, most likely. Well, you probably got some money on this one, but that's where we're kind of sitting right now. So it turn there. It did turn there. So that's what sandbag this one. They ran right into that area. That right off. Front run, right off of that level. Oh, Kip. No. Get out. He's unplugging monitors on me. Thankfully, he only unplugged the one that I'm not using right now. That was close. We almost had problems there. Just the top monitor went out. So, um, yeah. So where we're at right now, again, you maybe got stopped out just by you wouldn't have got stopped out. You should have definitely banked some when it came all the way down here. You probably should have got stopped out on a 1 to 1 at this point. It makes sense it turned where it did. If you're looking to get this entered again, I mean, again, there's 3 hits right there. It should push back to the downside. Definitely a dollar weakness based trade right now. But I don't think, in all honesty, I mean, at this point, coming out the top side, I think to the top side is probably, again, there's a nice little opposite on that one. So like, most likely, again, you probably took yourself out at the 1 to 1 here. Um, we'll leave that one marked right now. Um, but with this right here, again, maybe it turns and rolls, but again, we've already had a couple hits there. I don't know that I would. I like it better the top side at this point. I think right now we're looking at more of a long position coming out the top. We'd really need to start kind of pushing through though before that news. Whoa, Kipster, that was close, bud. Right, that's what you're looking for. It doesn't even have to break through the high. You're talking about 14 pips worth of risk, 43 in the opposite direction. Again, this could absolutely get blown through for news today, though. Just because we've pushed back and tested it here, we've hit it again, we're starting to form bases below it. It's trying to go higher. That's what it's trying to do right now. Right, that's what it's trying to do. And again, all it does is bring it back up high. So, not as sloppy, but again, man, I didn't mark that off yesterday, and that's my bad. I think I pointed it out, but I didn't mark it, and I didn't run fibs to see if they get any additional help, and they did. So again, supply zone wins with the combination of fibs. So, my bad. All right, same thing. Look, we did have this one yesterday. We got to about a 1.5, almost 2, before it kicked back and then started to use that zone. It ended up going higher, grabbed it, went higher again. Again, really forming a base here. So, Again, probably made a little bit on that one. Nothing crazy. And again, 1, 2. Well, really, you'd use this one, right? This is your 3. There's your 4. It's going to break, and it did. It broke. And again, right now, this is more set up in a long position. It took an old zone, right? 1, 2, 3. Way too much basing below and is now pulling back again. This one also looks like it is potentially a long trade, right? It looks like it is set for this right now. Little Harry Potter trade. Now, again, remember, Harry Potter trades are not necessarily designed for news-based trades, right? If you remove the whole news-based aspect of it, but typically when we see a broken zone, we're looking for it to push. There is a 78.6 in there with some sellers coming in at that level. It's not the freshest. Here's the original level, and it hit it and hit it. It hit it. This would be hit number 3, but because it's the 78, there will be people that are looking to sell it right there. So right now, the risk on it is about 20 for 60 in the other direction. Again, the US based session from like 8:30 to about 10 was straight down again. So nice little pop ahead of time. Again, Europeans, let's see. Europeans shot it down, 5:30 reversed it back up again. So it's kind of set for more of a long than anything right now. But this is going to be the most risk of any of the positions out there right now because it's got the proxy nature of this. It's the dollar, and again, you got the dollar and the Dow both involved in this one. So it's kind of a difficult one there. Yeah. So um eh, just afraid we're gonna run out of time right now. It's all right. I don't know. I think use caution with this one, just because of the timing of the whole thing. Again, it's small risk, but again, the timing of it being 10:30. I mean, with it pushing down, being negative, this is where it would turn and go back up again. But I'm just afraid because of the nature of the proxy. This one, yeah. See, that right now the Dow is just. I mean, look, 0.05, 0.06, 0.07, 0.35. Right here, it's so flat. We're not getting anything, and when it does, it's going to come in crazy. So again, Apple, Tesla, both negative. So that's a hard one. I think this. I mean, this is it's 4 hour ATR 67. So this one could jump. I mean, this one has this. If there was no news today, I'd be like, "Yup, this is it. Pull the trigger." But I'm just worried about news on this one. I'm worried about it slowing down at lunchtime and then not getting the afternoon burst because of the interest rate rise. Oh, the bank rate. Otherwise, I mean, no news. If there was nothing today, love it. Because there's news, I'm like, oh, this is the worst pair for news today. Not all news, just today. Oh no. Crude oil. Look at that. That's pretty good, right? So there was our thing. I missed it by a little bit, but where are we right now? Right there at that same point. We actually came up to 70, 25. Where's it at in the thing? It tells me high, so there you go. I missed it by a day. But we came up, we touched it. If I bring it across, you can see we just tagged it there. So we are officially out. So there you go. Gotta love that one. Still impressed that this one was so close on the draw. But right now, again, this holds firm. You can see that it came back up. You can tell why it's selling right now. I think this level right here, the old 23. Let's see, is it a 50%? It is. So right now, this is where I'd be looking for oil to go to. There's my profit target for oil. At what are we at? 67.30, right? 67.30. And you may say, well, why there? Well, there's some basing in here, and again, they've kind of kicked back again. All eyes are going to be on the U.S., and typically oil is not a direct play for something like an FOMC. But remember, the implications of today. If they don't raise, which again everybody assumes they're going to raise, if they don't raise, it's like holy crap, they're scared. They stopped their plan. They were supposed to raise it 3 times. If they raise and then basically say, well, we were going to raise it 2 more times, but we're going to pause after this because the bank crisis counts as 2 raises, right? That will kill demand as well. Um, Question is the bank crisis over? Like, are we done? This is it. If we hear nothing else, is it really a bank crisis? Will they have to start picking up again? I think that's the risk that they take. So, again, if they're talking about, hey, listen, we're going to raise it again, this could potentially put us into a recession, but we need to get inflation under control, and these are the tools we have to do it. Again, You hear recession, that's demand destruction. People getting laid off, unemployment going up. Those are bad negative drivers for oil. We should see it's back down again. So again, if you were getting short from the 70 mark, again, it did spike above 70 today, went to 70.25. Again, that was our target up top. I think 67.31 is where we're looking for crude oil. All right. And why? Again, level of basing, nice strong push. It's one of the cleanest candles we have out here, as well as it coincides with an old 23, but also the current 50% retracement. So again, target first, and then what you do from there. Again, it can move in a couple different directions. So let's move this down. Where's the end? Gonna be the second target. This is target number two. Oh, how cool would that be? How cool would that be? So target number one is 67.31, and target number two for Friday is 64.91. It gives the media story, right? We closed below 65 for the first time in I don't know, right? Ended the week at 65. So crude oil, or I'm sorry, natural gas. Natural gas went all the way down yesterday morning, and that was kind of the bottom. We did rally back up, and we mentioned that, hey, listen, this could potentially come up to there. It's an old level, right? There's the old level right there, the basing. All it did was grab that. It kind of Harry Pottered itself, right? Again, is it the cleanest Harry Potter? Not really. With this zone sitting up right here, I would have been looking more for that zone on the reversal. I know why it turned here. Again, with the 23 as well as this old level of basing, it makes complete sense why it would turn there. Um, Not necessarily my most favorite piece, but I think it had such a rundown, nice little pull up. I think this also continues to deteriorate and goes lower. So I think we push back down. I think overall profit wise on this one right now, we're currently looking at where this kind of confirmation came in and the base and kind of the takeoff point. So right now, if you are short, it looks like you're looking for 21 or 216 is where we're looking for natural gas to come down to. Now, will natural gas be affected by today? Maybe a little bit. I think crude oil gets affected by it more. So I kind of like the other things out there besides this one. So, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Now get on to the important ones, gold. All right. So gold, we were looking for a pullback, right? So we were still looking for a push all the way down to here. So yesterday we were standing right about here, and we talked about a push down. We were kind of looking, and again, I get why it turned here. I kind of want this one to come all the way back down again. So again, we are looking for this to go lower. Um, let's see. Oh, that's Friday. Choose this. Did hiccup off that, so I just want to get this as clean as possible for this news release. This is already on where it is. Okay, so can it move that much? Ugh, it's a little bit deep. A little bit deep. Let's see. Like that. Look at that. There is a level sitting there. Mm-hmm. It's much closer. Oof. So with this base here, it's been hit, hit, hit with spacing in there. We should have no problems going higher. Question is, can we get up to that level? Now, again, technical traders will step in here for a short on that one. It's also a level where we had to drop some sideways movement and a nice pop again. I wish this big candle was on this side, not on the front side. If this was over here and this was here, I'd love it. It'd be awesome. It'd be great. But I think we really need to watch out for, again, 1951.75, right? 1951.75 could be a nice little short here. right? If price comes up, just if it rallies enough, right? Now, gold's in a very interesting spot today, and the reason why is because gold's kind of between a rock and a hard place. It's kind of like the Fed right now, right? We know inflation is too high, but the Fed, again, they can't raise too much because we've already had a few bank failures, right? But the bank failures may be over. The only having a slowdown shows you that the banking system has major problems, and the question is, again, lowering inflation with a banking system, it's like this is like a double whammy. So it's like, oh, did we get the 0.25 and then a major collapse, or does the gold market be like, hey, you're pausing, that's it, inflation is coming back, running rampant. I'll tell you right now, if they don't raise it today, which kind of would be a surprise for the general consensus right now, gold takes off. It's going to go poof, all the way up here, right? Because that would be a surprise where people are like, oh, that's it, we're done. Okay. Um, just because of the risk. But right now, oof, I think I'm kind of hoping we get back up again. I'm hoping that this is not it. But right now, I think look between this 2 o'clock, and again, we may have the same exact spike where we have a spike in one of the two directions. It may go up like this, and then Pal says something, and it goes down. Um, but I'm wondering if it's going to be more like this, where you see the 0.25, and then Pal talks and says something so dovish that it's like bink, like that. Like I'm wondering if this is the pattern that's going to look like. It's going to be a big check mark. I think it potentially could be. Um, and again, spikes. Where do we go to? I think this is a decent level spike over here. The base and the kind of the confirmation right there. I'm fine with that one. I think anything to the top side, I'd say that this is a target, right? If you're long before the snooze, I think that's a target. Take your profit out. It's okay. It's okay, bye buds. I don't know if I sent you guys the picture or not when him sitting in the drawer. Well, he's too big for the drawers now, but he still thinks he can sit in the drawers. So, anyway, those would again. I think if we get up to 91.51, I think that's a decent short. I think if we're taking this one long, look at 1965 is where an area where you want to take some short. Silver, kind of the same thing. Again, we talked yesterday about how it was like kind of consolidating in, and it is. We were looking for a bounce off 22. We didn't get the bounce. It's just kind of holding firm. It's kind of dead, right? It's up a little bit, but we're still kind of between the rock and a hard place. We turned one more time. We grabbed the sellers down here and then kind of came back again. So I don't think downwise there's a lot holding it back. If you do the zone here, look, 1, 2, 3, and this is basically 4, so we'd expect it to come all the way back down to 22 today. We mentioned yesterday that 22.61 would be a decent short. We're within range, right? We're within striking distance. 18. Yeah, it absolutely could get up there. So again, I didn't mark this one off yesterday, but it's very easy to mark off. Right, just find your 14, and then at the same time, make sure you get your 14.30, because again, that's when Powell's starting to talk. So probably somewhere in there, the 14.45 ish range is when somebody hits him with the zinger, right? All right. Nothing crazy with that. Apple looks like it's a little positive now. It's trying apples. It's grinding. Tesla, it's in a gap right now. It's actually technically in a buy area. Yeah, you're seeing everything up right now. So VIX, there's the VIX accelerating down. We mentioned that it could potentially, and it's funny. Earlier, it was like, yeah, just a little bit, right? And everything was in the green, or everything was like kind of red green, right? Now we have more in the green, and it's going down again. The volatilities are already starting to build. Is the dollar moving? Eh, it's coming up a little bit, right? It's trying. We had the parabolic move. The parabolic retracement is now completed, and now we'll get to see for the next 2 hours or 4 hours what's going to happen with this one. How high it can get. Yes, let's see what we got today. It doesn't look like much. Yeah, so ES wise, a little bit of movement, but I wouldn't say there's really kind of any, not too much in there. European session kind of drove it up. It kind of went up and then kind of pulled back just a little bit, but it didn't really leave the base. So it's going higher now, which I think is a good move. Um, was there kind of an opening trade today? Not really, right? There's not. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of a test right there. Um, the 9 and 9.15 were red, so yeah, it did pull back into a zone. I mean, you could really try to do this one and be like, hey, listen, there's your level of basing, and you know what? There's your overnight touch, and that is what it hit. So You could have, but for me, I would say that be cautious. I would have been cautious because again, you got a confirmation of the top side down. There just wasn't enough room to run because you could say, "Hey, listen, Brian, there's a touch there too," and you're right. There is. Is there enough room here for 1 to 3? No, not so much. Right, but there was actually a pullback. Again, the 9 and 9 15 minute candle came down. Did grab a zone that is confirmed. It was confirmed at 8:15 this morning, so it is going higher. And with this punching up, again, is this going to be the sign to are we looking for this? Right. I think the more this goes up today, I think the better off it looks for a short. So, but I don't, again, we got 4 hours. Wait to see where it goes from 1:30 to 2. And then at 2 o'clock, then make the call. And again, don't be surprised if we have a spike and then a reversal right away, right? The initial response will be one spike. And then when Powell talks, the other one. Actually, wouldn't be surprised. Again, with this rallying up like this, I wouldn't be surprised if it had like this and then this, right? Now, why that? Because obviously the interest rate rise, people are like, oh, that's bad, right? And we have to stay vigilant. And then he says, yeah, but we're going to probably pause 2 or 3 times. We know that it's a lagging indicator and we know what we have is working. And then it just takes off because people are like, oh my God, that was so dovish, right? So it could absolutely be this kind of whipsaw back and forth, a quick spike down and then Powell talks and it just launches itself. Um, and again, it could potentially go the other direction. The way the market could take it, it could be a nice pop up. And then when Powell talks, it's like, yeah, but inflation, we're still going to go. We can't let this, you know, it could go back down again. So, yeah, it could be the 0.25 and down because everybody expected it. And that's what we expect to see. And then Powell says, nah, we're going to do 3 still. And then just it goes the other way. So, it could also be this, right? It could also be up because it was only 0.25. And then Powell says, no, we're going to continue to do 3 more. And then it does this. So, I think either of these two scenarios is highly possible today. And Q, let's see. 9:30 had a nice little pullback. It wasn't really confirmed. Um, Same thing. I think you would have. I mean, if there's your top, right? Was there enough room? Let's see. There's your confirmed level. I don't think you could have got that in. And again, it did pull back. It didn't really hit it, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I don't think we would have even wasted time drawing it. No, no, it's a 1.16. So no, too close. Too close. So, but with all the basing here, this could be a nice little pop. What do we have higher? Oh, we're trying. It's taking off right now. Trying to see if there's a headline because it's taking off. So yeah, that'll love this though, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4 is what breaks, right? Because it pulled back and then boom, off to the races. We're getting real close, right? 76. Hmm. Hmm. Man, could we have a straight up rally to there? That'd be a heck of a run. Hmm. Are the prior sellers going to get it? Or is it 13,000? Understand for NQ, 13,000 is huge. Huge psychological number, right? Big one. Big one. So, again, we got 3.5 hours to go on this one. I'm wondering if we get a spike and it comes to one of these two levels today. Wonder if we spike up and then, again, nice push back down. So, again, Gotta love on the fourth hit when we break. There would have been no opening print trade set up on that one today, but again, overall, I think it was risky anyway. YM, yeah, it's still in the same range. Still sitting high. 30, yeah. Again, gave us the two red candles we're looking for long, and it did come back to a level. It wasn't a tested level, and now it is rallying off of that. So again, it did pull back right before the open in time to go long. Again, we are sitting very, very high on the curve. We know there's levels up here, but again, 1, 2, 3, 4. We should be able to break through the top side of this. The question is, where do we stop on this one? Ugh, any better on the 30-minute? Oof, so close to 33. Where's 33 at? It's just above it. Where are we at now? 13,000 is there. We got 33,000 sitting right there. God, we're so close to so much stuff. I don't know which one. This is like a candy store. And does the 2 o'clock news, does the rate hike shoot it up and then Pal talks and sandbag it? Could be. God, we're so close. Yeah, no opening print obviously on this one. It gave us the right candles, but we didn't have a confirmed pullback zone, as well as on the top side there wasn't necessarily enough room to run. Kind of the same thing we've seen for the other two. Look at this. It's like no 18. Kind of an interesting move there. Look at that, rallied it up and then 530 reversal straight back down to where the start of the origin of the move was, back up to this 23.6. But look, one, arguably two, maybe you count that as one. This is definitely one. So without a doubt, it's definitely two, arguably three from this one. Next hit would be number 4, going back to the downside. Does this push all the way back down and come over here at 1763? Can we tag that one today? Maybe. And 1800 are so close. We're 10 points away on this one. If we can rally 10 points up from now till then, could 18 be the sell point today? I feel like it absolutely could be when that comes in right there, right? I feel like that could absolutely be a short, right? Because again, 18,000 is big. So what do we have in play? We have 1,300, 33,000, 1,800, right? ES is the only one that's above. Again, can we hit 5,000 in the ES? I don't know. Maybe, but that's going to take a lot more to move. I think it's more than likely it hits 4,000. Interesting setup. But again, 930. Yeah, give us two reds, right? The red was we had 915, 930 red, and then boom, started the reverse back up again. So this one actually is almost set in like a little Harry Potter right here. Right? We've hit the bottom side so many times now. Right there. Yeah. All right. That's it for today. Let's go ahead and do our drilling. We got so much stuff happening in the next 4 hours. Again, I think big things to watch out for is absolutely watch this dollar. Wait to see where this dollar is pushing. At this point on a 30-minute, we can actually shrink it just a little bit. Probably there to there would be bottom side. The next thing you guys need to do is not bad. A little bit of a surplus build, right? A little bit more of a surplus. And again, this is why we'll continue to drive lower. But I think the important thing to do is see what happens now from 130-ish to 2. See where the market drives it. Today, I think there absolutely is a high probability of a whipsaw. One reaction to the actual statement, and then one kind of a counterbalance fair play thing when Powell speaks today. I think he's going to get some very, very pointed questions. So, yeah, could be an interesting day. Like I said, this is probably the most anticipated Fed funds rate in I don't even know how many years. More so than even last time, where it was like, is it 25? Is it 50? Remember before we were talking about potentially having to go to 5.5, 6, maybe 6.25, and now this may be the final one. Again, extremely important. Have we peaked? Do we not need any more? Is everything we have working? Um, yeah, very interesting spot. All right, let's go ahead and do the drilling. So, let's says 5, but it's not updating right now for some reason. I don't know. Can I refresh that? Will it bring it back and give me the 5th person? There we go. All right. Somebody's going for number 2 and using a whole lot of pip chips for it, right? Using a whole lot of pip chips, playing the long game, right? Right? He used 90 pip chips to make 100 pip chips today. So, yeah. 90 pip chips for 100 pip chips. So, not a good risk to reward, but he's setting up that long game. Know exactly what he's doing, right? All right. Let's close that drawing down and let's see if Nero takes it through statistics or if the, you know, the luck of the draw comes in. Winner of today's drawing is. Ooh, that one's got to sting. That one's got to sting. Oof. Ernest takes it with 2 at the very, very end. Nero, I thought you had this one, man. I'm just going to say. I was like, he's in with 10. He's taking it today. There's not enough opposition. He's got, he's got so much more of an advantage today. And bam, Ernest puts the hacks on. Let him spend his. I know, right? That's the thing. That's the risk of the long game, right? Neuro, hey, this is like March Madness. Neuro was looking at the Final Four and didn't even make it out of the Sweet 16. See what I'm saying? Right? Who was it? Was it Kansas or something like that? Right? Something like that. Right? The number 1 goes down by the 16. Right? The odds were in his favor today, but, guess what? Every dog has his day. That's all I'm going to say. Right? The only time I lose is when Ernest wins. I know, right? No, it's so true. So true. Right? Leaderboard. Let's give Ernest his 25. There he goes. Right? So again, Ernest was still positive on the day, and Neuro taking it down. Right now, Neuro, now it's a conspiracy. Now it's a conspiracy. You got Debbie and Ernest conspiring together to keep you down. See how it works? So, all right, everybody, good luck today. Again, good trading. Make sure you guys have your established risk in there before things can get really, really wonky and crazy today. You don't want to go in there and mess with that one. Look for the pre-market movement half hour before the release. And remember, today could absolutely be a whipsaw one direction at 2, at 2:30 for the press conference, a complete opposite reversal. So again, watch out where these things drive it. And again, we'll see how it turns out. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you guys then. Take care.